got a chance to see the season finale of The Penguin, a great or little thing. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And then talking about comics, we did get our Lords of LA. This is my new comic. This is issue 2. This will finish up this storyline as well, so it continues from number 1. Where we have the Lord of Vegas kind of entering. It's told back and forth in time. It's got Marilyn Monroe in it. And somebody did put in the comments section that they wanted one, but they haven't responded to me yet. So that's where I'd have to respond to you and then DM as far as getting your address. So if you want a copy, I do sign them, which is it's really a fun couple of issues. It's 48 pages each, so you have a really hefty little book here if you get both of them. So let me know if you'd like one and in the comments section, and please reply when I respond. All right, so that's it for that one. And also, if you're a fan of one of these writers, sci-fi, the guy who created Thrawn, this is Timothy Zahn, and we also have Kevin J. Anderson and a bunch of great writers that are writing Green Hornet. I have hooked up with Moonstone Books, and it is an anthology with some really great writers in it. Check out the link in the description below. It will take you to the Kickstarter. We aren't launched yet, but it'll notify you when we do, and this is going to be a great campaign. So and it will be signed too by several of the writers. All right, so let's talk about The Penguin. This is the season finale, and it does wrap up quite a bit of things. I think that all of the characters' arcs are established here, which is some really great writing by Lauren LaFranc. She is the one that is the showrunner. So just as I thought, I figured she would be writing the season finale. I wasn't sure if she was going to direct or not, but they brought in, because I told you that the first director only directed one, and then they did blocks. So each director had 2. But since someone else did the first one, that left the last one without a block. And they brought in just a guest director by the name of Jennifer Getzinger. And I looked at her credits, and she's done a bunch of really, really good television, except for one. She did Ahsoka. She did the episode 6 of Ahsoka. So apparently, it's not the director that was the problem with Ahsoka. But she's done The Morning Show, Candy, which I thought was really, really good. I haven't seen Outer Range. Dead to Me, Westworld, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, The Man in High Castle. I mean, she's done some really, really good television. So it's apparently, again, Ahsoka was not the problem. And I thought this episode was directed very well. The DP on this was really, really great. So, I mean, the look of some of the interiors, along with what the production designer was able to do, especially, and I'm going to go into spoilers here, so if you haven't watched the show yet, you might want to watch it and then come back, because I think the fact that all of the characters have arcs that end here. Even Penguin's arc does end here. So, I mean, that's pretty much brilliant writing for us to start out with him kind of finagling along. We don't really rely on flashbacks, which is great. I hate relying on flashbacks, but the people that they cast for the flashbacks really look like them. The little kid really, I think did a great job. I mean, that little kid is brilliant. And of course, Kristen Milotti, Colin Farrell, they all come in with some really, really great performances. But there is really no return actors if they have another season. And I told you guys that they would have a bat signal in there eventually, and the last one finally did it. We didn't get to obviously see Batman. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I even in like my previous reviews, I said we got to have a bat symbol, and boom, they put it in at the end. That was great. So this one starts where the last one left off, with him going to be tortured by torturing the mother. All right, so if they were going to use the mother in any way, shape, or form, that was the way to do it. And we start out with her flashback of being hypnotized by Julian, seeing and giving information to them about the fact that she knew all along that Oz killed the other two kids or allowed them to die. And she didn't really know what to do about it because Oz is still her son, but it was, what do you do with a child that killed your other children? That's a very hard thing to deal with, I would think. But on top of that, she, at one of the last flashbacks of the last episode, we had her inviting him out to go dancing. And here we find out why. So there is a connection, which I love. It just wasn't her saying, let's go out. It was her with an ulterior motive of having him killed. But she does not obviously go through with, because Sophia wanted him to be tortured. So she brings both of them to the place where the mother was going to have him killed. And he didn't realize that, but of course it has memories for him. So really, really good stuff there. The shootout there is great. Her walking out, firing at him with a little short dress on and everything. I thought that was all great. She's got that intensity, and that's why I was hoping that she wouldn't be killed in this, because she's such a great character. And I really hope if Matt Reeves is doing a follow-up movie that she is in it. And I don't know what the plans are for the next Batman movie by Matt Reeves. If he's already doing the follow-up, if they're already shooting it, are they shooting it on the tail of the Penguin, where Penguin is the villain in the next movie? I don't know. I mean, of course, after seeing this, that's what I want to see, But if they do a season 2, I wonder if they're going to bring any of the other villains into it. I'm not sure what they're going to do, because he literally wipes the slate with everyone, and he ends up with the top hat and the tuxedo. I really liked the costume they ended up with him. I thought they did a good job. And on top of that, his mother is now a vegetable, which I think was kind of on purpose. It's kind of what she wanted. She didn't really want to live anymore. And on top of that, he has Eve, I think it's Eve, basically cosplaying as the mother. The thing I did not see coming, which again, if you haven't seen it, then you might not want to know this, is the death of Victor. That was the one thing that really, really surprised me. But I also really like how he was able to turn the tables on Sophia by two things. He went to the congressman and said, yeah, there's all of this evidence that she was the one that blew that thing up. All you got to do is look. So boom, he labeled her a criminal that destroyed and killed quite a bit of people. I would assume that city block, probably hundreds of people were probably killed there, if not at least dozens. And then on top of that, so he doesn't have to kill her. He puts her back into a fate worse than death for her, where he put her back in Arkham. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That was a great ending for her. We think that he's going to kill her, but I'm like, no, because I know I was expecting them to drive up to the police department. That's what I was expecting. But it was better this way, where we were like, is he really going to kill her? I'm like, I don't think so, because he set the whole thing with the cops up. And then setting up the whole thing with all of the lieutenants, almost in a Godfather type thing, where and it had to be inspired by Godfather, where, and if you haven't seen Godfather ever, there is the scene where he is laying waste to all of the family's enemies in one montage scene of just massacre. Everybody is getting killed, and that's what this was. This was a montage scene of all the lieutenants killing the Godfathers of their particular gang. So the leaders of all their gangs are killed. I thought that was great. That was a really, really great idea because we set up all these capos, and then we got a payoff with it. Really, really good stuff. I cannot recommend this series enough. I thought that Lauren LaFranc did a really, really good job of show running this and continually keeping the action going. We get some gunfights in here. We get, not really a car chase, but, we get a car speeding away from bullets, and then we get some surprise, almost Sopranos type of ending for some of the characters. Really, really good stuff. And then we ended up tying it into the Batman, not only with the bat symbol, but with a letter from Catwoman. Because in this one, Catwoman was the daughter of the gang leader there, the Godfather, and I forgot the Maloneys or whatever, and the Maronis, I think it was. But she sends a letter to her half sister, and it kind of wakes Sophia up out of her stupor, because I think she was just going to go brain dead with a way to get out of the fact that she knows she's going to be locked up for a very long time. But anyway, really good stuff. I thought both the director and the writer here did a really great job, as well as the cast. And I think it wrapped up almost all the storylines to a very satisfying ending. I'm not sure satisfying because you're dealing with a villain, but for the storylines to wrap up into a closure. And that's why I don't know if they're going to do a season 2 or not, because we really did see an origin story. Now, if they're going to decide to do an origin story for every villain, that would be something too, where maybe this is the end of the Penguin. We've seen the Riddler. Maybe they'll do Poison Ivy. Maybe they'll do Harley Quinn. Maybe I don't know if they'll do Joker or not. Everybody's kind of stayed away, especially from the Joker losing its ass. So I doubt they're going to be doing Joker at this point. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they can do something good in the Batman universe, because I did like this quite a bit. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys again so much. Remember to click in the link below if you want to jump on Green Hornet. And remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And if you want to join the channel, get notified of what I'm doing, remember to subscribe and ring that bell. And check out some other videos as well. I'll see you guys on the next one.